Hello, AniCod here, and today I'm bringing you another Superliminal video. This one's going to cover even more blueprint locations thanks to a certain someone. It's going to cover a few more extra bits that the community has been asking for, like glitches and how to do certain things. So it's pretty much a follow-on from the first video. If you haven't seen the first video, I'll link it in a card above. This one's not going to make much sense unless you've seen the first one, so feel free to click that and then come back to this one after you've seen it. And I hope you enjoy it. So let's get straight into it then. So it all started when someone called 360 reached out to me telling me he's found more blueprint locations and he's found a few extra little bits and bobs that's quite interesting, so I thought I'll take you up on that, and he's actually recorded a little bit of video for me. Unfortunately the video were a little bit jumpy, but I've recorded it myself so you can see, and here we go. So the first thing then, now the developers must have known that we were going to snoop around at some point because they've put various texts in various locations. For example, in this room up here, telling us to please not snoop around. Yeah, it's like they knew that we were going to be doing that, and let's face it, when you've got a community like this, you're always going to have a search around. So on this side then as well, on one side of the wall here, it's saying why are you doing this? So why are you snooping around? It's kind of cool that they actually put that in there. They didn't have to do that, but they knew that we were going to be doing something like this. I think we've took it to a bit more of an extreme than the developers were aiming for, but there we go. So the next thing then is more blueprint locations. Now 360 has actually found a lot of blueprint locations, so fair play. The first one is this part here then, and all you have to do really, nice and easy, but I missed it, is get up onto the roof, and quite simply there's a blueprint there. It looks like the phone room as you walk through the corridor, and there's some seating on the opposite side. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, so I think the blueprints are just different levels at this stage. So the second one then, you all recognise this bit from Endgame. Well, if you run backwards and jump over here, again straightforward, but I completely missed it again. Luckily 360 were here to save the day. There's another blueprint back here. I'm not 100% sure what this one is. I don't know if this is a blueprint that's repeated, if we've seen this one before. It does look kind of familiar, but I'm not 100%. So the next one then is this room here, and if you look at the scaffolding, it's it's a little bit of a pain to get up here, but you can make the dice a weird sort of shape to get up. It does take a bit of messing about, and it is a bit glitchy as you've just seen. That's a blueprint of the swimming pool, the bounty castle and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting as well. So the next one then is, speaking of bounty castles, if we pull the bounty castle through the corridor, and we can actually use it as a step then to get up. So we're going to do exactly that, and up here is another blueprint location. There we go, nice and easy. I'm not sure what that is. It might be even be the locker room that we stood in, a blueprint of that. I mean, this room still completely freaks me out. Just yeah, cool. And then there's one more blueprint location. So the next one then, you all remember the outside area where you run towards the lights and you get boxed in, and obviously this appears. Now this was a pain in the backside to get on top of, but it is possible, so I'm going to cut it. There we go. And you jump up on top, and here we go, another blueprint. Again, this one kind of familiar, but it might not be. Maybe someone in the comments can let us know. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's another blueprint location. So I think in total we found about 8 or 9 blueprints. If anyone finds any more, feel free to hit me up in the comments and I'll put another video together. So more things then, and the community says, Chills says, will I do a video on glitches like clipping through walls and stuff? Well, yeah, absolutely I will. Now I'll show you one of the oldest glitches for when the game first come out, and in this room here, pretty much at the beginning of the game, you get the block, and the idea is to get it in roughly that position there. It might take you a couple of attempts, like me, I failed there, and all you're doing is dropping it on your head, and when you jump after you drop it on your head, it should boost you up like so and throw you up. I mean, I went a little bit too high this time. It is possible to jump where it only throws you up like, I don't know, a couple of feet just to get you above the map, but I got a bit carried away then. As you're falling, you can control yourself, so don't worry about if you're falling and it looks like you're going to go out the map. Just aim towards the area you want to go on, and all you have to do is stick to the edges of the map, and that way you won't fall through and you can just have an explore around. Well, an explore around the first chapter anyway. But it's pretty cool. There's some interesting things to knock around in, so chills. I hope that answered your question. There's a lot more out there, don't get me wrong, but I thought if I show you one, it'll give you something to have a mess around at. So there we go. So another question what keeps coming up quite a lot, surprisingly, is one what appeared in my comments, and Hanif asked it, and it's, does something happen if you pull all the fire alarms down? Well, my experience is no. I've tried pulling every single fire alarm, even the ones in the hidden locations, and I can't get anything to happen at all. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope there is something in the game, but from my experience, no, nothing happens at all. So the next question then, and it's from J Teeth, and he's talking about in the trash can, there's a secret room, and when you put the chest piece in the bin, it shakes and spits it out. Now in the first video I did try this and it didn't work, and I think it's down to the size you do the chest piece. I think I made my chest piece way too small, so it didn't actually do anything. If you make the chest piece just big enough to actually fit in, like this sort of size, and then put it in the bin, I'll stay quiet and you can watch what happens. So there you go, 100% accurate. So thanks for that, J Teeth. You can do this as many times as you want. Drop it in, it'll always shake and it'll always spit it out, as long as it's the right size. If it spits it out and it actually falls through the map, which has happened to me on more than one occasion, don't worry, you haven't completely lost your chest piece. All you have to do is run back down to where the chest piece actually spawned, and it'll be laying there ready for you to try again and have another go. So there we go, nice little bit of fun. So thank you for bringing it to all of our attention. So the next thing then, Jester Lemon actually mentioned the bouncy castle. Unfortunately for me, the bouncy castle was something I discovered after the first video, or it would have definitely made it into that video. Now I've sped this up God knows how many times just so you can have a look at what's going on, but the idea is if you make the bouncy castle really small, like as small as you can, and then walk through the portal, it glitches the whole map and it does all sorts to your character, and it's a bit of a kerfuffle. It is really fun though. The possibilities are almost endless with this. Like I say, all you have to do is just drop it into corners and it's as simple as that. I mean, at this stage now where you're looking, I'm actually using it as a bouncy castle. And that's not me jumping, that's just the game glitching me up and throwing me all over the place, which is pretty nice. And there we go. So the next one then, and it's from Marcus Games, and he says, Hi. So the next one then is from NA Difficult, and he says, try and crush 2 portals with you inside. Now this one is very tricky. I think I know what you mean when you say that. The only problem is whenever you touch a portal, it locks all the other doors off, as you can see, so you can't really do much with it. You can walk through and obviously mess about that way. I think this is what you mean. If it's not, then I'm sorry. But it's not actually possible to crush yourself directly between 2 portals. There's not a lot you can do. So there we go. So sorry about that, but I genuinely did try. So now one person PM'd me asking me how I made myself big in the chess room. I've sped it up, but basically I think this is the room you're talking about. Now the idea is you make one portal as big as you can and then walk through the portal that's just big enough for your body, and you'll walk out normal size, like so. Now the fall animation and the fall physics stays exactly the same, meaning you still fall at ridiculously slow paces. There's a couple of things wrote down everywhere, but you can actually use the physics to float around the map. And what I mean by that is, because the fall animation is so slow and you're so big, if you find the highest point of the map, which for me would be these actual trolleys, the little dollies here, So jump on top of one of them, and then when you jump off it, you can actually float around the map and fly all over the place like some weird superhero. There you go. It's quite fun to do. Like I say, you can do it off the top of the portal, you can do whatever. So that's quite fun. Now, OTX brought up that, I think you mean the chess room in regards to where we've just been, and what you can actually do, it's very time consuming, but you can actually get the little cardboard house, and if you stand inside the keyhole, you can pick up the cardboard house, spin it round and get it inside the little jewellery box, or the cardboard box as OTX mentioned. It is actually possible. Like I say, it is quite tricky to do, and everything does need to be in the correct place to do it, but it is possible. You're absolutely right. TB and Reality Rupture seem to be a little bit upset that there's not more Easter eggs or more Easter eggs in the hidden locations that we found. Well, I hope today's video actually cleared your expectations a little bit, because there's a lot of hidden places that I didn't see in the first playthrough that 360 did, that has brought me attention to, and there is a hell of a lot more Easter eggs than we first thought. So much so that I'm almost positive that we've missed quite a lot of Easter eggs as well, or missed a lot of blueprints and stuff like that. I'm starting to think there's like a blueprint in every level, like in every realm. I'd like to think so anyway, but we'll soon see. I'm sure time will tell, and I'm sure you lot in the comments might find even more blueprints that you can bring me attention to, and I'll highlight them to everyone. So if you've enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like. You can subscribe also if you want to be updated on any more Superliminal videos that's coming out, any more glitches or anything, feel free. So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, you're an absolute legend, and cheers.